Hi folks, I'm Mike from Minnesota. Welcome to my channel. Today's video, as always, is being brought to you from the beautiful North Woods of Minnesota at the doorstep of the Chippewa National Forest and on the Leech Lake Indian Reservation. Today I'm going to do a Lenten dish, a Lebanese Lenten dish. Our main course is going to be walleye, fried walleye. And then I'm going to do two Lebanese side dishes that are absolutely wonderful. One is called majadra, which is rice and lentils with fried onions, and that'll be topped with laban, which is yogurt, plain yogurt. The other side dish is going to be loobia, and today's loobia, which is bean stew, green bean stew, is going to be loobia the Batinjan, which is loobia with eggplant, diced eggplant. Now, you can do loobia green bean stew with other varieties that are really good during the year. Loobia Laham, loobia with meat, which we do with, we generally like to do ours with pork. But so today we'll be using green beans, garlic, onion, rice, whole plum tomatoes, lentils, and some spices, and I'll show you all of those as we go. I'd like to shout out to a couple people that advised me on this video. Number one is Father Tony Salim with some of the Arabic words and phrases that I use to make sure I'm doing them right. And some of them I might not do right, and if I don't, oh well. But and I might be using some Arabic terminology that goes back to the mountains of Lebanon and not generally used in the common Arabic language. The other person, a little shout out to my sister Rini, aka Cookie, with some help on the recipes. So right now what I'm going to do is prep all the vegetables, and after I get all that done, I'm going to come back. And as always, the recipe for these dishes, except the walleye, which is basically pan-fried walleye, the recipes will be in the description of this video. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay folks, I'm back. I prepped some vegetables for the loobia, and I hope you can see it. These are fresh green beans, and what you need to do with your finger and thumb is pick off and trim the ends. So that's going to go in the 28 ounce can of plum tomatoes, which I crushed up. This is going in there. And I chopped up the eggplant, little pieces. That's going in there. I'm going to put a quarter teaspoon of cumin in here. A quarter teaspoon of some pepper flakes. Some salt. Pepper. Right now, what's going on here is I'm going to have to add some water or some more tomato sauce. And I think in this, because it has so much stuff in it, I am going to add, now you gotta, kind of do things as you go. Could put water with a little tomato paste would be good, or I can put some tomato sauce. What I'm going to do is put a little can of tomato sauce, and if I need more liquid, I'm going to add some water. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to put it on the stove and get that simmering, because that's going to take, I don't know, maybe an hour before everything is all soft and just really glorious and gorgeous. Yeah, so I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back, and I'll let you know what I did. Hi folks, I'm back. Well, what I did end up doing is putting 1 can of tomato sauce and 2 cans of water in the loobia, And the recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of green beans. I only had 1 pound, so with the amount of eggplant I had, it seemed like it was quite a bit of eggplant. I like eggplant, that's okay, but I did take a little bit out. And then I kept the cumin and the salt and pepper and the red pepper flakes out. So later on, as it cooks down, we'll taste it and see how that's going and what the taste is like. In the meantime, I'm doing a little prep for the majadra, the lentils and rice. So you start out with a 1/2 inch, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch of vegetable oil in the bottom of the pan. And I'm adding probably a medium onion. I got this much cut up already. If I want a little bit more, I'll put a little more in there. And then as we get to that procedure, I'll tell you a little bit more how we're going to do that. But what we'll do is to prep it, we'll do the onions, we'll wash and soak some lentils, and we'll wash and clean rice. We'll do a cup each, and I'll get to that in a while. We'll let that Loobia cook down a little bit, get tender, and in the meantime, I'm going to watch a little bit of the Masters. So we'll see you in a little bit. Hi folks, well I'm back. Well, the Loobia is turning out absolutely excellent. It's cooking down, and the amount of liquid and the amount of spices I put in is perfect for me anyways. You can, I gotta admit, you better, if you want it a little less hot, taper down on the red peppers, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon, because it has a little spice to it, this Loobia. It's very good though. Of course, I forgot to say that in the Loobia, I don't think I said it, that I also put in 2 crushed, diced garlic cloves in there. And at the end of this whole thing, we're going to be eating this, obviously, with Lebanese flatbread, kubas, and in the hill country of Lebanon, back in the day, it would be called kubas maruk. You might not recognize that name nowadays, but in any case, what I'm going to do now is I've got my onion diced slivered in about a 1/4 inch of vegetable oil. I'm going to fry that up. I'm going to add the lentils in 3 cups of water. I'm going to bring that to a boil and down to a simmer until the lentils are just about done, al dente. And then I'll add the rice. If I need to add a little more water, I will. And then I'll cover that and simmer it for about 20 minutes. That should be done. The Loobia should be done. And then I'm going to fry my walleye. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do is bring the camera over here and show you what's going on with the majadra and the Loobia, so you have an idea of what it looks like at this stage. So if you try this recipe, you won't be surprised. So we'll pull the camera and come over here in a second. Okay, this is what we have going on so far. The Loobia is looking really good. Actually, it's a little too high of a boil right now. I'm going to turn it maybe off for a while. And but the taste is really good. Now here's the majadra. This is what it looks like, so you're not surprised when you do this. You see the onions, how dark they are? So you gotta be really careful with doing this. They're like fried onions, they're not sauteed onions. And then I put about 4 cups of water in here. The lentils are taking up quite a bit of water, so I think after I put the rice in, I'll probably add another cup of water. And right now, I'm going to check the lentils to see where they're at. They're still a little tough. I'm going to let them go until They're a little bit softer. And then I wash the rice. And I'll add the rice and more water to cover the rice. I'll cover it and then I will simmer it for 20 minutes. Should be done about then. Once that's done, I'll do the fish. So we'll be back in a little bit. Hi folks, we're back and we're gonna see where we're at here. Take a look at the Loobia. Loobia Batinjan, which is the eggplant. It's looking really good. And over here we have the majadra. This is what that looks like right now. And right now, I'm gonna put the walleye on. Stand back. I'm gonna cook this so it's a little flaky. I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper on there. Let me finish it with a little butter. When this is done, we'll come back and we'll plate everything. So we'll see you then. Hi everybody. Well, we've finished our dinner for tonight. And here we have majadra, and we have Loobia Batinjan, and here we have fried walleye, which I believe is called, well, it's spelled S-A-M-E-K, Samek, but it's pronounced sumac, I believe. And the only thing we need, of course, we have the kubus, Lebanese flatbread, and I love to put a dollop of plain yogurt, Lebanon, on top of mine. Some people don't like it, but I love it because I grew up with that. So I'm gonna enjoy this tonight, and I have plenty of leftovers I'm gonna be eating tomorrow and the next day probably. And well, until next time, everybody, got to mention, we're about 5 weeks away from walleye fishing opener here in northern Minnesota. So my next videos hopefully will be of me catching some walleyes, doing some fishing this summer, which I didn't do much last year. And until next time, have a happy Easter. Make every day a great day. God bless.